Hey guys, Lowell Tech Fix here, and I am in the studio today with
Ryan Mazur.
We're going to learn about Ryan Mazur here in just a moment. He's one of our excellent trainers here at Tech Fix. You've probably seen him do some electrical classes online, and he's at a conference with us right now, hanging out. So I figured, hey Ryan, I'm going to pull you in. We're going to talk about some stuff about industry standards and that sort of thing. And I worked for a company in Pittsburgh. This is early on in my career, and this is kind of one of the things that really made me think about how diagnostics are done, because this company, they ended up going under. Long story there, but this company was one of those companies where they bragged that everybody else sent their cars to them and they couldn't fix. And they hired me, and I'm like, I don't know why they hired me. You know, like I'm still in tech school. I'm going to school for, writing and directing for film at that time. And I really wasn't that good. Like I knew the basics. I could probably crank some hours out at that moment in time in my life, probably, 19 years old, 20 years old, something like that. And I remember the guy who hired me, he said, it's mainly broken wires. That's what we mainly find around here, is broken wires and shorts. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know if I believe that, but sure enough, it was like, it would be like, I worked with this technician named Mike. This guy was a genius. I mean, he just was. But he was a genius in the way that he kept it simple. It was like, okay, well, everybody else put some parts on this thing, and I checked the voltage to the mass airflow sensor, and that, had this code in it. And then we found that it had a bad connector, and boom. It was just like, it really is like, I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, Ryan, but we've now interviewed probably over 300 technicians in this program. I mean, it's got to be more than that. I mean, I've interviewed 300. I'm sure Kevin's interviewed more. And one of the things that we found is that technicians are very overwhelmed, especially younger technicians, by the fact that they have to know so much about so many different systems, right? Right now out there, I mean, I'm just going to name a few. We have ADAS. We have networking, controller area networking. We have drivetrain management. We have, lab scope waveforms. Like there's so many things that you have to know about evaporative emissions. We have ride control, on and on and on and on. One of the biggest things that young technicians, their hurdles were, they felt that there was so much that they had to learn. It was overwhelming, and they almost felt like they could never get there to the master level. So what we did in our program is, instead of having 16 different categories, we put them all into one called performance diagnostics. Because performance diagnostics, everything that I just mentioned there, ADAS, drivetrain control, ride control, body control, they all share the same three elements. It's a source voltage, it's a feedback circuit, and a control circuit. And once we started breaking it down to technicians like that, they stopped being overwhelmed, because that is the very basic of what we're talking about. How does that relate back to what you're talking about? Exactly the same. It's like, if you get in there and you let it overwhelm you and you get too far into the problem in your headspace, you overlook a lot of things. If you come back to source voltage, feedback circuit, control circuit.
I saw that a lot in fire trucks. Mm-hmm. It's just reverse engineering a 5-volt pressure sensor. We wouldn't get diagrams. We wouldn't get nothing. I would have J1939 networks everywhere, which is the same thing as CAN, which is what they call it for medium duty, heavy duty trucks. And networks and sensors and switches and potentiometers, it's all the same thing as what's on a car. You just have to know, how do these things work? And I tell my techs all the time, you can try to get in this industry and just learn based on experience. But I compare it to the parable of the house built on sand. If you don't have a good training on understand the fundamentals of how everything in the system works at its base level, electricity, a pressure sensor, a potentiometer, then you're building that experience on sand. It's not going to lead to accurate diagnostics. If you have a good foundation in training, you've actually taken the time to invest not in yourself, to know all these basics, then your experience will be built on a foundation of solid rock, and the experience actually projects you in your career way farther, because you're always trying to build up that foundation of sand. You're always trying to compensate for not knowing how a potentiometer works.
Yeah.
And it's the last time you had one of these do it, this fixed it, so let's do that.
And you know, to your point in mentoring and helping young people, it really means something if I can pass on my knowledge and say, this is how an electrical system works, this is how a strut works, or this is how a transmission works, and you know, or a pressure switch, something like that, as opposed to saying, hey man, this is the site I use to see what everybody else is doing, right? What we call crowdsourced diagnosing out here, because if you don't have a solid foundation, you're working on sand, as Ryan is saying, you're crowdsourced diagnosing. You're on the internet. You're figuring out like, oh, YouTube says this, there's this technician forum, there's a Toyota technician forum. I got mostly that for this code, people are replacing this part, and guess what? I'm gonna try that too. And you got an 83 or what? I can't remember. It's been a while. It might be Identifix or IATN, where it's like 83% said that this fixed the problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you guys, but I was always the 17% where it didn't, right?
Yeah, it seems to be how it works. If you ever try to silver bullet it, you get the 1%. Yeah. That's how I teach my technicians all the time.
Yeah.
Why did this code set? Not what is the description of the code. Why did it set? It's set because other day, vent valve circuit fault. That's all the code said. I said, well, that doesn't mean anything. What does the code actually mean? It means the voltage was, when it was, it gave you a good description of it too. When the solenoid's grounded, the voltage should, if it's not 4 volts less than battery voltage, it sets the code. If it isn't grounded, it needs to be battery voltage. And it's clear. So the computer is not seeing one of those two things happen when it grounds it or when it's not grounded. So what can cause that? Let's make a list of stuff that can cause that problem, and then let's eliminate stuff with tests, and let's see what's wrong with it. The pinpoint test has never got me to the right place. When I first started out at the dealer, I put PCMs on for pinpoint tests and everything else, and it never fixed it. So I quickly I can't follow these pinpoint tests anymore. I have to understand this stuff, how it works. I have to formulate my own flow chart based on symptoms, experience, and results from tests. And the more experience I have, the better I get. The better my training is and understanding of those systems, the quicker I get.
So on that note, and it's been a great discussion, but I want to ask you one last thing.
No.
If I am a young technician and I'm looking for some advice on how to grow my experience and knowledge as quickly as I can in systems and electrical, what would be the steps that you would advise they take?
This is what I tell my technicians. I tell them, we offer them training. I was like, and they can go get it themselves too. All the training they can get. Do it like 10 times. Watch the videos 10 times. If you're enrolled in a program like TechFix, watch all the videos 10 times until you understand all the basics and fundamentals. And then you can build your experience on that. If you're not doing that, I don't know how you're going to get better as quickly as possible. That's what I did. I did that. I was really hungry. When I first started the Ford deal, I wanted to be the #1 tech in the South, and they had a PTS performance program. They ranked all the techs. I want to be #1, so I did all the training like 10 times. I read this thick book 10 times. A whole book on everything on a car 10 times. It's like this thick. At the age of 24, I was ranked #1, and no one was going to beat me. I quit before I got the award, 2 months before I got the award.
That's the way you do it. You go out on top.
But I was like 2 months, I was up by 100 points. No one was going to catch up. there wasn't enough time, and I was like, I got tired of the dealer.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, I reached my goal in my mind. I had, and at 24, and it was not easy. It was really hard. I put a lot of effort into it, but anybody can do that. The basics and fundamentals and training is the only reason I can attribute to that.
Oh, we preach that a lot here. You know, like I say at TechFix, we know what technicians don't know because we've tested a lot of technicians at this point. And basics is the largest group. And I wouldn't say that you're exactly, it takes the wind out of your sails, but nobody really wants to learn the basics, man. It's not sexy, it's not fun. But it is sexy and fun when you can walk up to a car and be like, yeah, this is what's wrong with it, and here's why. And everybody else is scratching their heads.
The results are amazing. Like I was 24 making top pay in the field, and I was doing really good. So I love the results, and I'm a future-focused person, so it's easy for me to focus on that. I'm not real present-minded, which can be also there's some cons of that too.
Oh, I have that problem too. Yeah.
But I encourage all my guys that, hey, did you go through that training 10 times? Because I really think it'd benefit you. I mean, it has. I've even seen studies on it where I know someone did on training. It's like on average, you can 3 times your income if you do training the training required for your field 9 times. And I mean, it was a Harvard study, I believe, but it was really good. They do a lot of studies on training. You can get, along with that same study, it was like the most ROI you can get is from training. It's like 40 times what you put in it. So I mean, that to me really resonated. It's like, oh, I want 40 times what I put in it. I want to make 3 times what I'm making now. So.
Yeah, and I see a lot of shop owners. I think this trend is kind of dying now, but they're like, oh, just hire better techs. Better techs aren't out there, guys. Like, you got to be that tech. You got to be that better tech, right? And if you come through our training or somebody else's training and you continue to study and you continue to certify, you're going to be a very valuable technician. Yeah. That's all there is to it.
Worth your weight in gold.
Yep.
I could hand my resume to anybody and I get hired on the spot. I took 2 months off of work, and then I took my resume in with my 38 certifications and said, I want a job and this is how much I want to get paid, and I didn't get any pushback. Like, that's the power of making yourself valuable, investing in yourself.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, it's been great talking to you this afternoon, man, and glad you were able to make it up to the conference here. And of course, we're going to have you back. Do you have anything else you want to impart to our viewers and or listeners?
I don't have anything specific that I had in mind, but just reiterate that, if you invest in yourself, the sky's the limit. Really.
Absolutely, man. I agree. I mean, I've gone very far in my career because I was training. I have taken a lot of training, a lot of education, and I was able to turn that back around and help other people with it. So you don't know where you can end up here. So I mean, I love what I do. I love training people. It's my favorite thing. It's my life's passion. So it's somewhere where we line up, man, and hopefully we'll continue to keep working together for a long time. All right, guys, Lowell TechFix here in the TechFix Talk studio. And again, here with Ryan Mazur today. If you like these episodes, you like TechFix Talks, please give us a like and subscribe, or leave a comment in the links below. We'd love to hear from you. You fix the cars, you fix the shop.